Hey guys, greetings from Bali. I just realized my bed isn't made, but guess what? It matches my hat and we're good. Anyway, these past couple of weeks, I've had a lot of clients coming up with similar themes about being able to trust themselves and and how do we know when we are getting the right decisions. And so there's a few different videos I'll be putting up around decision making and manifestation. But in this particular one, because trusting yourself is so essential, because that basically is you being in your power. And another way to consider it is if you think of your energy system, your body, as power that rides from the sky down through the crown of your head, through the very center of your body, and all the way down through pelvic floor, down through your feet, and down into the earth. And that we both receive energy from source and ground, and we also release outwards as well. So there's an upwards and downwards movement. I'm simplifying it, but if you could consider that to be in alignment with yourself means that you're contained, that you're a smooth container, that you're not leaking your energy. And a really common place where we can leak is around our third chakra, or we could say our solar plexus. So that place underneath your rib cage above your belly button. And that can be a place that can be vulnerable to when we're talking about energy cords, when we're connecting with other people, and when there is an unhealthy or draining connection or confusing connection. That can be a really common place where we can both let ourselves get hooked in, and also when we're not trusting ourselves, we start to take our energy outwards and look for someone else outside of ourselves to be the authority. And what I find, and you know, if you've watched other videos of mine, or if you're training with me at all, just because of my wiring, my specialty is working with people who are, more on the sensitive side, and maybe have some boundary issues. I don't want to say boundary issues, but like boundaries that just gets to be your special work and awareness all the time. And also being more empathic. And so if that's your work, it's like, okay, how do I let myself exist in situations as opposed to always being aware of everyone else? How do I start to trust and make decisions for me and not always be so influenced by the people, the fields, and my own insecurities and fears? So that was a bit of a tangent, but again, you're probably used to these tangents with me. So in terms of trusting ourselves, we could say that when you're trusting yourself, that strengthens your energy field. Your energy field is like this egg-shaped shape around your body. It expands, it contracts. And when we're not trusting ourselves, that's when we can get some cracks in our field. Also, when we're trusting ourselves, then we're able to refer to the inner guidance within and our own connection to source and ground. And also we could say to our guides and guardians. When we're not trusting ourselves, we definitely will lose some of our ground. My voice right now is very grounded. When I'm not trusting myself, I might say like, well, what do you think? My facial expression might change, my body posture. And also, instead of me being in line with myself, it's almost like my solar plexus energetically is protruding forwards. And of course, we're going to be confronted all the time with what's my truth, and how do I know when I'm actually living in my truth, respecting my truth, being authentic, and making the choices that are right for me. Whether we're talking about business, moving, relationships. I mean, every single moment is actually a choice. We could go on some argument of like, how much control do we have? Is it all scripted ahead of time? That's a whole other can of worms. But still, no matter what's going on, we still get to have the feeling that we have to choose. And we learn so much from our choices. And what can cripple us is if we have that fear of doing things wrong. And so that already may actually disconnect us from how we can sense our truth in our body in a feeling way. I'm not even saying emotions, but like sensational way, where we can feel, oh, this expands me, or, oh, this contracts me, or, wow, I feel like I'm gonna throw up, or, oh, wow, like suddenly everything has calmed down. So we can start to trust the radar of our body and not come from a mental plane of what, we think subconsciously our parents want, society wants, our partner wants, what the practical or good thing to do. A great way to lose your truth is to try to be good. So also what can be very overwhelming is that a lot of times we'll make choices and then afterwards it's like, well, fuck, I don't feel better. Maybe I regret it. Of course, most choices we make, it's not like, boom, I feel so good from this. That's it. I mean, sometimes it is, but we are living in a morphing multiverse. And so, it's very normal to, even if the move was right for you, to move countries or states or jobs and then to be like, oh, fuck, what if I made a mistake, or to break up with someone? I mean, there's a reason why, we all do that like secret breakup sex. Well, not all of us, but that happens. So it's that, of course, we're going to slide backwards and question. And that the way I like to look at it is, I kind of am happy if there's a part of me that's still kind of wondering a little backwards, because that meant that I didn't waste my time in that situation I was just in. Like, oh yeah, my heart was involved. My heart was invested. And of course, we're going to also still be tied in until our connections dissolve, which will help when time passes, when our consciousness shifts, when we start to own even more what feels right for us and what's good for us. So that's kind of a normal progression, because even positive transition is challenging. And that's why, I mean, they say in the English language, better the devil you know than the devil you don't know. And that's why we oftentimes will stay in things that aren't so great, but at least we know